Welcome to Top 10, the home of rapid-fire rankings. From fascinating facts to the freshest trends, we unveil the best of the best, all in a bite-sized package. Immerse yourself in a world where less is more and seconds count. Stay curious, stay engaged, and remember, life is always surprising when you're counting down with Top 10.
Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 most absurd and arguable facts about corruption in United States politics. We venture deep into a system often perceived as a beacon of democracy, yet riddled with intricate webs of power and influence. Prepare to be intrigued and to question the very fabric of the political system. Join me, if you dare, as we expose the intricate dance between power, money and influence that shapes the fate of a nation. In the intricate ecosystem of Washington, D.C., a peculiar species thrives, the lobbyist. These individuals, often clad in sharp suits and armed with persuasive arguments, navigate the halls of power with an almost preternatural ease. Their objective? To sway the decisions of elected officials, not for the benefit of the nation, but for the industries and corporations that fund them. This constant movement, this blurring of the lines, creates a breeding ground for conflicts of interest. Are politicians truly representing the interests of their constituents, or are they beholden to the lobbyists who whisper in their ears, who promise them lucrative positions once their terms are up? It's a question that strikes at the very heart of democratic representation. The line between public service and private gain blurs, leaving citizens questioning who truly holds the power in their supposedly representative democracy. Our journey takes us deeper into the shadowy realm of influence, where we encounter a species rarely seen in the wild, the billionaire political donor. These individuals, possessing wealth that dwarfs the GDP of small nations, wield an almost unimaginable level of political clout. They gather not in smoke-filled backrooms, but in exclusive clubs and opulent retreats, far removed from the prying eyes of the public. Here, amidst the clinking of champagne glasses and the murmur of hushed conversations, billion-dollar deals are struck, not in the world of finance, but in the realm of politics. Policies are crafted, regulations are weakened, and entire industries are reshaped, all to benefit the bottom line of a select few. The levers of power are often pulled by unseen hands, guided by motives that serve not the many but the moneyed few. We turn our attention now to a practice as old as politics itself: insider trading. In the bustling marketplace of information, where knowledge is power and timing is everything, some members of Congress have been known to leverage their privileged positions for personal gain. Members of Congress, privy to confidential information about upcoming legislation, economic forecasts, and even military actions, are uniquely positioned to profit from this knowledge. They buy and sell stocks, often through intricate networks of shell companies and offshore accounts, amassing fortunes while ostensibly serving the public. It erodes public trust, undermines the integrity of our financial markets, and reinforces the perception that the political system is rigged in favor of the wealthy and well-connected. The pursuit of power, even in the hallowed halls of Congress, can corrupt even the most well-intentioned individuals. Our exploration leads us now into the murky depths of campaign finance, where we encounter a creature as elusive as it is influential: dark money. This untraceable torrent of cash, often originating from anonymous donors and shadowy shell corporations, flows into the American political system like an underground river, shaping the course of elections and influencing policy decisions from the shadows. These funds, often exceeding the contributions of ordinary citizens by orders of magnitude, provide a select few with an outsized voice in our democracy. They bankroll the campaigns of favored candidates, fund attack ads against their opponents, and support lobbying efforts that advance narrow special interests at the expense of the common good. Without transparency, accountability is impossible. True democracy requires more than just the right to vote. It demands a level playing field, where the voices of the many cannot be drowned out by the whispers of a wealthy few. Our journey continues into the labyrinthine world of political donations, where we encounter a particularly elusive creature, the anonymous donor. These individuals, shrouded in secrecy, utilize a complex network of shell corporations and legal loopholes to funnel vast sums of money into the political system, their identities hidden from public view. These phantom donors, their motives often opaque, their true identities unknown, exert an outsized influence on our democracy. They bankroll the campaigns of favored candidates, fund issue advocacy groups that promote specific agendas, and shape the political landscape from the shadows. Without knowing who is funding these efforts, it's impossible to assess their motives or hold them accountable. True democracy demands sunlight as a disinfectant. We shift our focus now to a particularly influential industry, Big Pharma. These pharmaceutical giants, with their vast resources and sophisticated lobbying operations, exert a powerful influence on the American healthcare system, often prioritizing profits over patients. Through a combination of campaign contributions, lobbying efforts, and revolving door appointments, Big Pharma ensures that its interests are well represented in the halls of power. Legislation is crafted that benefits the industry. Regulations are weakened and drug prices skyrocket, often at the expense of patients struggling to afford life-saving medications. When corporations exert undue influence over the healthcare system, patients become commodities, their well-being sacrificed at the altar of shareholder profits. The well-being of citizens must always trump the bottom line of corporations. Our investigation takes a somber turn as we delve into the unsettling relationship between war and profiteering. Throughout history, conflicts have presented opportunities for unscrupulous individuals and corporations to enrich themselves, often at the expense of human life and suffering. While soldiers risk their lives on the front lines, certain individuals and corporations seek to profit from the chaos and destruction, securing lucrative contracts, supplying weapons and equipment, and rebuilding what they themselves helped to destroy. When profit becomes intertwined with warfare, the pursuit of peace can become secondary to the bottom line. Conflicts are prolonged, civilian casualties mount, and the true cost of war is borne by those who can least afford it. The decision to wage war must never be tainted by personal gain, and those who profit from conflict must be held accountable. Our exploration of American politics leads us to the superdelegate system. These unelected individuals, party leaders and officials can vote for the presidential nominee, independent of the popular vote. Critics argue it allows party insiders to override the will of the people. It undermines the principle of one person, one vote. True democracy requires a level playing field where all voices are heard. We venture now into the heart of the legislative process, where we encounter a practice as old as government itself, the buying and selling of influence. Campaign contributions, often exceeding the limits set by law through loopholes and obscure legal maneuvers, flow like water, greasing the wheels of legislation, ensuring that the interests of the wealthy and well-connected are prioritized. When citizens perceive that their elected officials are more responsive to the demands of donors than the needs of their constituents, cynicism festers and faith in democratic institutions wanes. A healthy democracy requires a vigilant citizenry, aware of the insidious influence of money in politics and willing to hold their elected officials accountable for their actions. The pursuit of the common good must always trump the lure of personal gain. The voices of the people must drown out the whispers of special interests. Corporate lobbying influences nearly every aspect of American life. From Congress to regulatory agencies, corporations shape laws and weaken regulations. Their vast resources often drown out the voices of ordinary citizens. A healthy democracy requires a level playing field. Citizens must demand transparency and accountability. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey through the murky waters of US political corruption. We've explored the intricate webs of influence, the hidden machinations and the overt displays of self-interest that often overshadow the ideals of democracy. Stay informed, stay engaged, and never underestimate the power of your voice. Demand transparency, hold your elected officials accountable, and fight for a system that truly represents the interests of the people. The future of our democracy depends on it.
Thanks for watching Top 10 Countdowns. Desire more? Glide your cursor to the subscribe button, give it a click. Don't forget that notification bell. It's your golden ticket to our world of riveting Top 10 Countdowns. See you soon in the next video.